Thank you for having me. Okay, Bismillah. Okay. Bismillah. Okay. So we begin in the name of Allah, and we send blessings upon our Prophet and his family. Ameen. And so, inshallah, as we have the title on the screen, today we'll be going into the third part of emotional intelligence, and then we'll have a quiz. Finally, I got it. It's ready, I promise. So we'll have a quiz be prepared. So for those of you who just joined today, so you're not left out and get a 0 on our quiz, we can recap a little bit. So we have been speaking about what emotional intelligence is, and we understand that is an ability to help us respond to our emotions in a healthy way. And it takes for us to recognize what emotions we may be feeling, and then respond to those emotions in a way that is intelligent, not just out of reaction. And so we also clarified that emotions, or being emotional intelligence, does not mean that we are weak. We all have emotions, and we respond differently to them. And so why is it important? It is important because our life on a daily basis, it is ruled by emotions, one or another. Some are more intense than others, while we are feeling emotions constantly on a daily basis. And we need to be aware of that so we can have a peaceful life, so we can be composed at all times, or as much as we can. And so we can have a peace of mind, a better relationships with people that we live with and we interact, and a better relationship with ourselves. So we've been talking about that. Last time, I think we spoke about anger, and we went over different kinds of anger. Some people might say that they never get angry, but they do. We all do. And there's different kinds of anger. And the one that we said that we all engaged in on a daily basis was incidental, right? And that is something as little as hitting your toe on a chair, even if it is for an instant. But the first emotion, the first reaction is to get angry. And then we respond to it in different ways. Some people may say inappropriate words. Some people may hit the table, right? Some people, we react differently, but we have a reaction. So we are trying to work on getting the best reaction of it at all times. We also learned that emotional intelligence is something that is inherited. Basically, we are born with. We inherit this trait by our parents. It's not everybody has it, but it can be developed. And so if, like in some cultures, and I think in all cultures, we can find these traits in little babies, when they cry a lot. There's always someone that will say, oh, he's so stubborn, just like my grandfather, right? Or he's so, he gets angry so fast that he's not fed. He's just like his dad. Or sometimes we say something like, oh, such a little girl, she's so patient, just like my mom. I was like that when I was little. That's what my mom said. I never gave her any trouble. And so we have these traits that are inherited. So whether they are negative or positive, we inherit them. And so emotional intelligence is something that we have. A lot of us with some guidance can achieve a higher level and really have a very positive outlook in life, have a peaceful life, and be one of those people that people want to be around. You're one of those people that give advice, or people come to you for advice. You are a motivator. You are a person that understands the balance in life. There is positive, there is negative, but you are a good influencer. You're a person that brings positive to other people. And so we discuss also that, right? The types and how we can identify if we have emotional intelligence and if we don't. And so that's what we've been working on. Today, inshallah, we're going to move on to fear. So I put these 4 emojis in there to identify the 4 most agreed upon emotions that every human being possesses. So we have happiness, then sadness, anger, and fear. And so from joy or from happiness, we can have little branches of feelings. Before I get into that, we also understand that emotions is not the same as feelings, even though we use sometimes the same word. But having an emotion is something instant. It's an emotion something that you feel instantly. And a feeling is something that develops due to that emotion. And feelings can stay longer in us, in our mind, in our body. And so they are interchangeable in a way, but they do have their difference. So in this context, we understand that emotions are those who are immediate, and feelings are those that come after those emotions. For example, if we have lots of happiness, if we are happy about some good news, that may create a feeling of motivation. For example, we might get motivated to do something because we receive some good news about something. And so that might make us feel motivated. For example, I don't know, the house market went down 50%. Now that you are motivated, it's a happy news for those that might want to own a home, have been saving, and then that might motivate him to take that step. So it gives that feeling of motivation. So it gives other feelings as well. It gives good self-esteem. You know, when someone tells you a good compliment, the first thing is it makes you happy, right? And a lot of times we say that it makes me happy that you say that, right? And so, and it gives us, it feeds our self-esteem as well. And then we have, among others, there's many, but this would be just 2 examples. And then of course we have sadness. And when we have an immediate sad, it can develop into a longer sadness. And that can be something nostalgic, or it can be something that produces you nostalgia, or a sadness that is there, or even depression, right? But there was a starting point that was sadness that turned into a feeling that developed into something else because it wasn't addressed, providing that there isn't any health issues, you know, or like imbalances and so forth. This is within a common context. And then we have anger, which again is an immediate emotion, and it can develop into feelings of bitterness, right? It can develop into feelings of hatred. So those are feelings that stay longer with us, and, you know, coming up from that initial feeling or emotion. And then fear. So fear is what we're going to be talking about today. So fear again is an immediate emotion. And from that we have the feelings of uncertainty. We feel insecurity, right? We get those feelings from fear. And anxiety. There's so many. So we'll go over them, inshallah. There it goes. So understanding fear, which is tied to uncertainty. We feel fear because we don't know. Usually we fear anything that we don't know. And so sometimes can be negative fear and sometimes can be positive fear. It's a question. We'll find out. What do you think? Is fear only negative, or can be positive? It could be positive. Why? Remember that I'm a teacher by profession, so I will ask you questions. Negative fear, any examples? What is negative fear? Not knowing. Okay, uncertainty. Okay, what is fear in the first place? It is coming up. I just want to see, warm you up, wake you up. What is fear? What do you think? It's an emotion, yes. What's a definition that you could give? What is? Okay. To be scared. From getting fear from getting the book. There's a fear. It's a reasonable fear. What do you think? What's fear? But she's afraid of being scared of something. All right. Let's see. I see something in the chat. Let's see. Negative of positive fear. I didn't see any. Anyone online can contribute or wants to contribute about what is fear? No? All right, we'll move on then. There you go. So what makes us fearful? Yeah, sure. Thank you. I was thinking of fear of a lot. It's great. So you'll be one of my A straight students. Snot doesn't count. All right, so what makes us fearful? First, I have a small, I think the definition is coming up, but basically a fear, yes, it is an emotion to something that could be harmful to us. It's basically an emotion to something that poses a danger to us or a threat, right? And that has many other ramifications in there, but that's pretty much it. It is an emotion to something that may be harmful to us. So it's a threat of harm. It could be real fear or it can be imaginary fear. So a real fear for that could be you're afraid of getting in an accident if your car is not in good conditions, or if you're driving too fast for an emergency, or those are real fears. You have a valid reason for that, is you can justify it. And then it can be imaginary fear, and they could be fear of losing a loved one, right? You're afraid of those things, getting fired from your job, or those kind of things that they might cause us fear, and they cause other feelings because of that immediate thought. So it could be imaginary and it could be real. Most of the fears we feel is when something poses a threat to our body, to our physical being, and of course to our emotions, such as not wanting to get married because we don't want to be hurt, or whatever reasons. But these things happen. People don't want to get in relationships because they don't want to get hurt. There's many reasons, but that is one of them. And psychological well-being, we're afraid that our emotions may be harmed. We have we're happy, and then we fear that if we proceed with some decisions, that might cause us harm emotionally or physically, right? And so common triggers are very common. It's darkness. Some people are afraid of darkness. They're fearful of darkness, right? They start imagining all kinds of stuff, monsters coming at you, the boogeyman, the cucuy in Spanish, you start imagining, or you see things. People are afraid, and sometimes since a very early age. So there's different kinds. Heights, some people are afraid of heights, going in airplanes, or any heights, they don't, there's so many. And this is different than phobias, but some people are afraid of social interactions, they don't feel comfortable with around a lot of people. They are afraid that they may be judged. They are afraid that they may make a mistake. They are afraid of not being perfect. There's just so many things that come from that. And they are fears of animals. Like, can you name some of fears that we might have? Spiders. Yes, snakes. Like, I'm terrified about snakes. It's more than fear for me.
My ex-mother-in-law makes a cat.
Oh,
like this is years and years ago, but
oh wow.
She was so scared of cats.
Oh, how interesting. Yeah, I heard that from one of my students yesterday, actually. We were talking about fear as well at a kinder level, but they understand. One of my students was afraid of turtles. Can you believe it? The little turtles. And turtle. And then another little kid, he's so smart. He's like, why are you afraid? She can't even catch you. And I'm like, where are you coming up with these ideas? She can't even, they're so slow. I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, cockroaches, roaches, yeah, the big ones. They're just so not pleasant looking, I know it's creation of Allah, but they're just not pleasant to look at. And if they fly, they are terrifying. I apologize, she's already afraid. I'm like triggering your fear. Look at this one. Someone said fear of diabetes, which make people exercise and eat properly. Like if you are sound, what is sham? Maybe they meant that if you are fear to get diabetes, therefore you eat better. Shiyam, maybe. What is shiyam? If there is another word. So you might feel fearful of getting sick, which is physically there. Therefore, you will modify your lifestyle, right? Sound. Okay, sound. Thank you. Yeah, we all were saying it wrong. Thank you. Finally, a common language. So yeah, this makes sense. That will be fearing some harm to your physical being, right? You're afraid of getting sick, and so you take precautions, or you don't do some things, And then, of course, fear of death. We have fear of death. and dying. They're two different fears, but we are mainly fearing death because we know it exists and we just fear it. So here are the levels of intensity in regards fear. So I found this word very trippy, trepidation. I don't even know how to say it. I think that's how it is, trepidation, but it's basically apprehension. You know, I think it's a maybe not very much used word, but basically this is where the whole thing begins. This is when you start with your fear. So when you doubt something against, when something poses a threat, but you're not sure. So you start escalating in terms of feeling. So you start with your emotion right here, which makes you feel a little bit, when you start tripping, I guess. And then you go up, you know, you start getting nervous about things that might happen or events. And then it develops, if it's not addressed, it can develop into anxiety, right? And then it tires you up, you're dreading it, it's been there, it starts to build up. Now escalated another level. It can get into being desperate, you know, you don't know what to do. You just get desperate about how you feel. And then of course we have the highest levels would be like panicking. When people start going to panic attacks, actually, they can pass out. And of course, something that just is horrifying and being terrorized, you know, just can't take it. I think that's like having nightmares or something, but it's just, there's different kinds of fears. So what is the function of fear then? The universal function or the main function is basically to avoid harm. When we are afraid of something, something poses a threat, we want to avoid that to harm us, whatever it is, even if it is like, you know, they were making a comment on diabetes. We want to avoid it. We don't want to get it, so we'll do whatever it takes. So what do we know about what can, so we start doing, sorry, I got also sidetracked with that. I apologize. Yeah, sorry, we have another halakha going on next to us. We apologize online. I don't mean to raise, yeah. Okay, so back to fear. The universal function then is to avoid harm, and that prompts us to do what we know about what can protect us. So we respond in different ways. Some people may learn that if you learn karate, you're going to protect yourself from being harmed or bullied, you know, or if you learn kung fu or, you know, martial arts, you have the self-defense techniques and you defend yourself from any threat, you know. Some people may buy weapons and protect themselves at home, protect their family. Some people get cameras. Some people get detectives, bodyguards, you know. We get whatever we know that can serve as a protection to us. Of course, as Muslims, we should know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our protector, but the truth, the reality is that we do live in the world and there are other means to protect yourselves. And we know that nothing happens that if Allah does not allow it. So no matter what we do, if Allah wants it for us, it will harm us no matter what. But we do, and we are encouraged in Islam to take our precautions. There's no harm in that. And so we choose ways to respond to fear. Again, could be physically or with getting cameras, what have you. Another function of fear is avoiding those things that cause us those threats or those feelings. Some people like to avoid it, and some people actually seek fear. And that's the case, you know, some people that are really afraid of things, they stay away from like snakes. I will never go to a zoo section where they have snakes because I'm afraid of them. I don't want to see them even in pictures, in books. So I don't read those kind of books. I stay away from that. You know, I avoid it at all costs. But there's some other people that seek to feel this fear, such as people that enjoy horror movies. Like, you'll never make me watch one of those. I think I'll puke, you know, I'll be afraid just to think about it, you know. But some people enjoy this fear, you know, they can take it and they're perfectly okay. So fear can be, I guess, received by people in different ways without any harm, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Oh, you have a good imagination, señorita. All right. So what do we use fear? So we use fear to protect ourselves. We say that to avoid harm in this life and in the for the hereafter. So we use fear for those things. Now let's think about some ways or some yeah, some ways in which we protect ourselves in this life.
Sorry.
No, no, no problem. I understand. I understand.
I only have one.
I think we all have one brain. You're not abnormal or privileged. We all have one brain. Sorry, guys, online. We're having another halakha next to us, so we just kind of cope with it. So again, we use fear to protect ourselves from in this life and also for the afterlife when we meet our creator. So let's think about some of the things that we can do to protect ourselves in this life, which I kind of mentioned some, but I want you to expand on that. What are some of the things that you do to protect yourself from you know, that you use fear, that you fear something in order to protect yourself? I guess that's you recite certain surahs to protect you from shaitan, from the harm that shaitan causes, which could be something like, what would be one, what's specifically? Jealousy, envy, accidents, your tongue, gossip, bad words that can harm people's reputation, hurt them for a long time, change their life. Sometimes words can change your life, you know, personally and at large. Do you all have, how many of you have cameras at home? Okay, so you use cameras to protect yourself in this life as well. You use cameras, right? What else do you guys use? We don't drink alcohol, for example, right? We protect our health, right? Do we sleep? We try to sleep and rest. Yes, so we do a lot of things. We rest, we interact with one another, so we keep our emotional being at a good state. We stay away of trouble, like she was saying, we make dua from the whispers of shaitan, so we have a good mind, inshallah, at all times. And of course, how do we protect ourselves then for the afterlife? Doing good deeds. What else? Praying, worshiping, stay away from haram. What else? How do you protect yourself from, you know, being nice to your mom? It's smart. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the positive fear that we're talking about, as the sister was mentioning, fearing Allah. But it isn't a fear, as we know, that it would scare us. It has two, I guess, two branches of that. Yeah, there is the fear in which we should fear the punishment. We should fear the ugliness that may await us, or that exists, that Allah has created. We should never deny that and just go for the positive thinking, even though you know, we prefer that because we want to run away from that threaten us, and that includes hellfire. So yes, we want to run away even from the thought, but sometimes from the wrong reason or the wrong way. So we need to refocus on that and understand that fearing Allah, yes, it does mean that we fear those horrible things that we might get if we don't behave ourselves. But we should also understand that the fear that we're referring in a positive way is to protect ourselves in this dunya. And by protecting ourselves in this dunya, we protect and our akhirah, the afterlife. We protect our place there. So by avoiding all of the harmful things that we know in Islam, you know, by avoiding those harmful things, we know that we are in obedience to Allah, and in turn we get His protection. So we can use it in those two positive ways. Any other ways that you guys want to contribute? There are more, so I don't want to take it all. Think over there. What are other ways to just think about ways to protect, or how do we use fear to protect ourselves? What are some of the fears that you have that protect you? For example, maybe that's a better question. Yes. To remind, are you all afraid of dying? Yes, we are afraid of dying. And so, but why? People die. What if you die peacefully? There's no pain. You're still afraid? It's still. We are afraid because we know we have a list of things that we've done, and Allah knows us best, but we also know ourselves. So we know what we have done to protect that as well.
Yeah, so by reminding ourselves that we will die one day, we try to stay away from the bad things.
From the bad things that harm us in this life and the next. Let's take a pause and do the game, and then we can discuss some of those things there. And then we'll go over the other slides. So we finish up with those two. All right, I need you all to get your phones out. And you can do this at home as well. Let's see if it takes me. Oh, I actually had it open here, so no need for that. There you go. I think I'm going to have to mute the. We're going to do the classic one, so each one of you can enter the code and play individually. I just don't want to bring the sound. Oh, I thought it was Kahoot. I'm like, God, Erika. Yes, so I need you to go to kahoot.it, and I'll take the music off. If you have the app, it's okay. If not, you can log in directly from Safari or Google. Just go to kahoot.it, and it will give you a little bar where you can type in this number. Yeah. Get in, it's fun. You can use my phone. I'll get the points. No, I can't play if you play.
I have to give myself a nickname.
Yeah, if you want to be anonymous, it's fine. There you go, sister. You can. Princess of Jade. I don't know. Cat lover. I don't know. Well, like hot dogs, something like that. People put all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Fatima 1, Fatima 2.
Oh,
Fatma. I want to change my name. Esmahid. That works. Yeah, seriously. Yes, you can go in there, edit, I think, and then you can put nicknames if you want to. It's cute. Oh, Alan Sar 5G. Alan Sar 5G. So I think that should be. Well, there is no password, right? Is there a password for entering? Karima, is there a password for entering? Yes, you can on. Oh, maybe.
Well, I'm the Fatima next to Ahmad.
Yeah, but when we will get out then and want me to get you off. Let me see. Which one? This one?
No, that one.
This one? Okay. Just enter back. Oh, at least you should put M&Ms. Oh, that's
too much to type.
Muslim times 3. I used to put times 3. Oh my goodness. Fatima Z. Fads. Fadsy. Hey. Oh, that's cute. She wants to watch.
You watch.
All right. Come and play with us.
Oh no. See, at work when we do this, our names are not up there and nobody knows if we're wrong.
They will. I'll show them all. I'm just kidding. I'll test your emotional intelligence. All right. All right, ready? I think that's all that you guys are in. So we'll start with these 6 people. 1, 2, and We're going to take about a minute, literally a minute. I'll read them out if you want. Ready? Yeah, I'll wait for you. Okay. Emotional intelligence quiz. 3, 2, 1. Let me turn this down. How do you respond to criticism? Somebody told me, oh, your presentation is a little off, Sister Erika. How would I respond? Thank you. I did my best, so I'm sorry you didn't like my presentation. Or, thank you, but my presentation was perfect. I put a lot of work in it. Oh, thank you. I tried to make it better, but it just didn't work. Or, thank you. I'll figure out what went wrong. What would I respond if I had emotional intelligence? You put the answer in there. Don't tell me, and if you know it, put it as fast as you can. Read. And then we'll. Ready? It's coming up. I think I put a minute just in case we would take time. So we have 3 correct and 3 wrong and 1 in. All right, so the red one, thank you, I did my best. I'm sorry you didn't like my presentation. Basically, you are in denial of the comment, whatever criticism they gave you, whether it needed more slides, more color. You're just pretty much being polite, but smart about it. Oh, thank you, I don't care. You know, I did my best, so sorry, it's your problem, not mine. That's pretty much what the answer means. The blue one would be, thank you, but my presentation was perfect. So I put a lot of work on it, meaning I'm also denying your input. I don't really care what you say. I did my best. And if you think it wasn't good enough, then it's your problem, not mine. It was perfect. So you are convinced that it's perfect. I guess you're denying. And the other one, the yellow one, is passive. When you say thank you, I try to make it better, but it just didn't work. You're also apologizing for having it wrong. So in a way, you're letting it affect you, and you are seeing the fault, and you're giving them the reason. Say, yeah, you're right, I did bad, you know, you're right, it was a bad presentation, you know. But if I answer thank you, I'll figure out what went wrong. I'm basically telling you thank you for telling me what was wrong with it. I myself did not even know, but I'll figure it out. So you don't take it personal, you just take it for what it was. So that's why the answers were that way. Ready? Ooh, there you go. Those are the list of the winners. Hey, you win love, appreciation, and all. People with emotional intelligence, red, are happy people and their life is perfect. Yellow, have self-control and are able to pause before taking action. Blue, people with emotional intelligence read a lot of books about emotions. That's why they're intelligent. Or people with emotional intelligence are always doing something to impress others. Ooh, yay. So we spoke about, yes, and actually this is partly yes. People with emotional intelligence are in general happy people, and people want to be around them. But their life may not be perfect, but they deal with it in a composed manner that brings them happiness, and they're content with it. They know how to deal with it, so they don't let problems and all these things get to them. So they appear to be happy, and they're happy most of the time. They read a lot of books. I hope that they do read a lot of books, but that's not what they're about emotions. And they're always doing something to impress others. Wrong, because emotional people, intelligent people happen to be one of the most humble people you can meet. They will not go around impressing others. They do things because they're nice, they want to, they're intrinsically motivated, they're happy by doing. They're not caring about impressing others precisely because they are emotional intelligent. They don't care in a way about what other people might think, you know, so long as they're doing what is right. Make sense? All right. And then we have, I forgive because, red, because it is easy and free. Blue, because I'm forced to. Yellow, because it will make me a good person, or because Allah will be pleased with me. Oh, that was easy. So This is partly true, red one. Forgiveness is free, right? But it's not easy. Forgiveness is many things. Forgiveness is needed, right? It's liberating. It's free, yes. It could be hard. It could be easy. It's both. It could be great. It could be smaller. It could be harmful. It could be healthy. It's both. So forgiveness is a lot of things. No one can force us to forgive except ourselves. And then it will make you a good person. That's up to you. I don't know, but maybe it will make us better people. When we forgive, red, we remind people we forgave them. Blue, we forget. Yellow, we become best friends with the person we forgave. Or green, we avoid talking about the matter again. Whenever you're all finished, it will pop in there. Oh, mashallah. All right. So no, I guess I'll wait. I feel bad talking over it. I never do. The event is going on, so we will wait. Inshallah, we'll pause a couple of minutes. Okay, great. So when we forgive someone, we definitely do not remind them that we forgave them and tell them, hey, I forgave you, you know, and I owe you because you did this to me. Remember, I forgave you. So, you know, be nice to me. Or we don't do that in exchange to, remind them. We don't remind them. We don't do that. And we forget, we do forget. Well, we don't forget because it's going to be recorded in our memory, but we can definitely erase it in a way when we do not bring it up. So in a way, we forget by not talking about it ever. And you don't have to become friends with a person that you forgave, but if that is possible, go ahead, but you do not have to. So long as your heart is clean and you want to keep distance because it reminds you of something dislikeful in the past, it's okay to keep a distance, okay? I'm going to go with very briefly in here because I have 3 more and they're actually funny. I normally apologize because I only apologize when I'm wrong. That's red. Blue, I value the relationship more than my ego. Yellow, I never apologize. Others have to. I never do anything wrong to people. And green, I just want the argument to stop. Who cares who's right or wrong? Just stop. I don't know if this skipping it means. Some people think it's easy. How do I stop it? Do I skip it? Okay, great. So, oh, great. Some people say that wants the argument to stop, who's right, who's wrong. We want to be the person that stops it so we can keep that relationship going. 6 and almost done. Forgive and forget. This one is cute. Red, I forgive but never forget. Blue, don't forgive and don't forget. Yellow, I forgive and move on. And green, only Allah forgives. So why should I bother? I didn't put that in there, but I'm just saying. It's really not part of the question. You ready? There's 7 answers. No? You weren't in the class last week. That's why. I forgive and move on, and only Allah forgives if we also forgive one another. So, but great, you have to forgive. We must. It's good for our health. Again, what's he doing that? When I get angry, I don't get angry on my own. People make me angry. Blue, I pause for a minute until it goes away. And yellow, I say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim in Arabic, right? And I wait before I say something or make any decisions. There are 2 right ones in there, sorry. There are 2 correct in there. Whichever one you choose will be right. Yes. So you will be safe. So it's 50% chance. Yay. I don't get angry on my own. People make me angry.
Who is that?
I have no clue, but that's funny. Oh, okay. It is true. And the last one, what is going on? Bismillah. What are emotions? Emotions are feelings that make you cry all the time. Emotions are part of weak people. I am strong, so I don't have emotions. Or emotion is a state of mind, or emotion is another word for feelings. Ready? We'll skip it because we have 1 minute. Yay! Good job. And it is another word for feelings, but that wasn't it. Yes, so I think we're going to pray. We'll find the winners. And then ta-da-da-dan.
No emotion.
She has no emotion. We can see through the mask. No judgment. Yay, mashallah. Great. So we're ready to go, inshallah. So, yeah, thanks. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone online. No, I will see you, inshallah, next week. Assalamu alaikum.